Welcome to our channel. If you've ever been curious about coins that stand out from the rest, you're in the right place. In this video, we're exploring some of the rarest and most valuable quarter dollars and uncovering the unique stories and details that make them truly special. What if the most valuable coin in today's video looked exactly like a quarter you've seen your entire life, not rare gold, not ancient silver, just a simple US quarter that once passed through everyday hands? Today's first coin is the 1976 quarter dollar, a coin most people believe they already understand. But one specific example quietly changed that belief and went on to sell for a price few would ever expect from pocket change. To understand why this coin matters, it helps to start with the moment it was created. In the mid-1970s, the United States was preparing to mark 200 years since its independence. The Bicentennial was meant to be a shared national moment, not limited to museums or collectors. The government wanted something ordinary people would actually touch and use. That idea led to a decision that had never been made before, redesigning circulating U.S. coins to honor a historical anniversary. The quarter was chosen because it was already one of the most widely used coins in the country. Instead of removing George Washington from the front, the mint kept his portrait exactly as it had appeared since 1932. That choice was intentional. Washington represented continuity. The change would come on the back. For the reverse design, the mint held a public competition. Artists from across the country submitted ideas. The winning design showed a colonial drummer walking forward, a torch behind him, surrounded by 13 stars. The image was simple and direct. It referenced the ordinary people of the Revolutionary era rather than generals or monuments. Below the design appeared something new. Instead of a single year, the coin displayed two dates, 1776 to 1976. This alone made the coin stand out the moment it entered circulation. Production began in 1975 and continued through 1976. No quarters were dated 1975 at all. Every quarter struck during that period carried the bicentennial design. They were minted in extremely large numbers at Philadelphia and Denver, using the standard copper-nickel composition. San Francisco also produced collector versions, including proof coins and special silver issues. Because so many were made, most people assumed these quarters would never be valuable. They were saved occasionally as souvenirs, but they were also spent, scratched, dropped, and worn down like any other coin. The specific quarter that later made history did not come from a special silver set. It was a regular copper-nickel bicentennial quarter, the kind meant for circulation. What made it different had nothing to do with intention. It was struck at a moment when conditions were nearly perfect. The dies were fresh. The pressure was correct. The planchet was clean. The result was a strike that captured details most bicentennial quarters never show clearly. The drummer's uniform lines were sharp. The drumsticks were fully formed. The torch flame showed depth instead of flatness. Washington's portrait had clean hair detail and strong lettering. Most importantly, the coin survived. It avoided circulation. It avoided contact marks. It avoided cleaning, polishing, and damage. Whether it was set aside by chance or simply forgotten in storage is unknown. What matters is that decades later, it still looked almost exactly as it did the day it was struck. For years, it remained unnoticed. Like many coins, it sat quietly until someone decided to have it professionally evaluated. Modern coin collecting relies heavily on third-party grading. When this quarter was submitted, it was examined under magnification for surface quality, strike strength, and overall preservation. Each tiny flaw mattered. Each mark was measured. When the final grade was assigned, it placed the coin among the finest known examples of the 1976 bicentennial quarter ever recorded. This immediately separated it from the millions of others that look similar at first glance. Collectors understand that condition changes everything. A common coin in average condition is common. A common coin in nearly perfect condition can be something else entirely. Population reports showed that very few bicentennial quarters existed at this level of preservation. fewer still had this level of strike quality. And none had entered the market recently. That combination created attention. When the coin was announced for auction, it wasn't presented as a novelty or a patriotic keepsake. It was presented as a condition rarity, a modern U.S. coin that should not exist in this state, yet clearly did. Collectors didn't bid because it was old. They didn't bid because it was silver. They bid because it represented the highest achievable example of a coin most people overlook. As bidding progressed, expectations were quickly exceeded. Each new offer reflected not excitement, but recognition. Recognition that this quarter stood at the absolute top of its category. The final price confirmed what specialists already knew. This single 1976 bicentennial quarter, visually ordinary to most people, identical in design to coins still found today, sold for $96,000. Not because it was unique in design. Not because it was intentionally rare. But because it survived in a condition almost no circulating coin ever does. The next coin is the 1984 P. Washington quarter, a coin that at first glance might appear ordinary, yet one particular example has made it highly significant in the collector world. By 1984, the Washington quarter had been a familiar part of American currency for over 50 years. Its design, featuring George Washington on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse, was widely recognized and consistent. Most people carried these coins without giving them a second thought. They were common, practical, and made for everyday use. The Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P. Mint mark, produced millions of these quarters each year. Production focused on efficiency to meet the nation's circulation needs. Because of this, most 1984 P quarters have a standard quality that is typical of modern coins, clear enough for everyday use but rarely remarkable when it comes to details or surface quality. However, the coin we are focusing on stands apart. This 1984 P Washington quarter was struck under unusually favorable conditions. The dies used to create it were fresh, the strike pressure was optimal, and the metal planchet was of excellent quality. The result was a coin with exceptionally sharp details. Washington's hair shows fine curls, the lettering is bold and uniform, and the eagle on the reverse has clearly separated feathers, a detail often lost in standard circulation strikes from this period. What is particularly interesting is that this coin was never intended to be special. It was a regular business strike, meant to circulate among millions of other quarters. Yet through circumstances we may never fully know, it remained in near-perfect condition. It avoided circulation, handling marks, scratches, and cleaning that degrade most coins over time. Its surfaces retained the original mint luster, giving it a look almost identical to the day it was struck. This preservation is extremely rare. By the 1980s, most coins from circulation already showed signs of wear shortly after leaving the mint. For a coin like this to survive untouched for decades is unusual and makes it highly sought after by collectors. Collectors began to take note of high-grade examples of 1984 P quarters. Experts compared them to other coins from the same year and mint, and it quickly became clear that most surviving coins from 1984 did not approach the quality of this example. Its strike strength, crisp design details, and flawless surfaces positioned it in a category far above typical business strikes. This rarity is not tied to low mintage or special editions. Millions of 1984 P Washington quarters were produced, and yet almost none survived with this level of quality. The coin's value comes entirely from its exceptional condition and the scarcity of similar examples. Collectors also appreciate this coin because it demonstrates the potential of modern coins to achieve extreme quality. While older coins may be valued for age or historical significance, a modern coin like this is prized for the combination of its original strike and preservation. It shows how careful handling, chance, and quality control can produce a coin that stands out among millions of seemingly identical pieces. In addition, the coin's appeal is strengthened by its historical context. The 1980s were a period of stability for U.S. coinage, and coins from this era were rarely considered collectible when first issued. For a coin from this period to rise in value demonstrates the importance of condition and the sometimes overlooked subtleties of modern coin production. Collectors also value this coin for its teaching potential. It allows numismatists to study the impact of minting techniques, planchet quality, and strike conditions on coins of the modern era. It is a prime example of how modern coins can have collectible significance without being inherently rare or part of a commemorative series. The interest in this coin has grown steadily over the years. It serves as an example of how even widely circulated coins can become highly sought after if they survive in exceptional condition. Experts continue to monitor examples like this closely, knowing that coins of this quality are extremely rare and highly desirable for modern coin collections. This coin also highlights the importance of preservation for modern coinage. Many collectors now pay close attention to how a coin was stored, whether it was protected from humidity, handling, and contact with other coins. Such factors can make the difference between a common coin and one valued in the tens of thousands of dollars. For anyone who comes across a well-preserved 1984 Washington quarter today, this coin serves as a reminder of what can happen when a common coin is preserved under ideal conditions. Even ordinary-looking coins can hold extraordinary value when they survive intact and retain their original strike details. And for this particular 1984 Washington quarter, that value is substantial. It has a coin value of $77,000. It's a clear example of how condition, survival, and quality strike can turn a coin from something most people overlook into one of the most prized modern U.S. coins. This quarter earns its place as the second highlighted coin in today's video, showing that even everyday coins can achieve remarkable significance. Up next is the 1990 Washington quarter, a coin that might seem ordinary to most people, yet one example has gained remarkable attention in the world of coin collecting due to its exceptional preservation and quality. By 1990, the Washington quarter had been a constant in American currency for nearly 60 years. Its design, featuring George Washington on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse, had become familiar to generations. Millions of these coins were minted annually, making them an everyday presence in pockets, cash registers, and coin jars across the United States. The Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark, was responsible for producing a large portion of these quarters. The Mint focused on efficiency and volume, as the nation's economy demanded a continuous supply of coins for daily transactions. While most 1990 quarters were struck cleanly enough for practical use, the primary concern was meeting production quotas rather than achieving exceptional detail. This is where the 1990 Washington quarter we are focusing on becomes unusual. While typical business strikes from this year may have slight softness in the details, minor surface imperfections, or subtle flaws from handling, this coin displays an extraordinary level of precision. Washington's hair is sharply detailed, each curl distinct, while the contours of his face remain crisp and well-defined. The eagle on the reverse shows clear separation between feathers, and the lettering around the rim is uniform and bold. These details set it apart from the vast majority of 1990 quarters. The coin was never intended to be a collectible. It was a standard business strike, meant to circulate. Yet, against all odds, it survived in near-perfect condition. It avoided contact marks, scratches, and environmental wear that typically affect coins in circulation. Its surfaces retain original mint luster, giving it a clarity that is rare for a coin of this era. Collectors began to recognize that examples like this 1990 quarter demonstrate what is possible with modern coins when the right conditions are met during minting. While older coins often gain value through age, rarity, or historical significance, a modern coin like this gains recognition primarily through its strike quality and preservation. Its rarity comes from surviving decades in an untouched state. What makes this coin especially valuable is the combination of strike quality and preservation. Fresh dies, high-quality planchets, and optimal strike pressure created a coin that was perfectly formed at the time of production. Most coins do not retain this level of detail over 30 years later. Handling, circulation, and environmental factors degrade coins, making those that remain flawless extremely rare. The 1990 Washington quarter also provides insight into the minting practices of the late 20th century. By examining coins like this, collectors can see how production processes, die wear, and material quality affect the final product. This coin serves as a reference point for modern numismatics, demonstrating the highest level of quality possible for a standard business strike from this period. Collectors also value the educational aspect of such coins. It allows them to compare modern strikes with older examples, study the effects of circulation, and understand how preservation impacts long-term value. Coins like this highlight why condition and strike quality are so important in determining a modern coin's significance. This coin is also a perfect example of why careful storage and handling matter. Coins protected from humidity, contact with other coins, and frequent handling maintain their sharp details and luster. This 1990D quarter survived under ideal circumstances, which is extremely uncommon among quarters produced in such large quantities. Its rarity comes not from mintage numbers, but from survival in nearly perfect condition. Collectors seeking high-grade modern coins recognize the importance of examples like this. The 1990D quarter stands out among millions of others because it demonstrates that even coins produced for daily circulation can achieve exceptional quality if preserved properly. It has become a symbol of how modern coin collecting emphasizes condition, detail, and rarity. Over the years, interest in this coin has grown steadily. Numismatists appreciate it not only for its preservation but also as a teaching example. It helps explain why modern coins, even those that are widely available, can be highly valued when they survive in top condition. Its value reflects both the rarity of such preservation and the demand among collectors for coins that exemplify the best strike and luster of their era. This 1990D Washington quarter is now recognized as one of the finest examples from its year. Its combination of sharp detail, flawless surfaces, and pristine luster makes it highly sought after by collectors. The coin is not remarkable because it is old, rare in production, or part of a special edition, but because it has survived decades in a way almost no other coin from 1990 has. Considering all these factors, exceptional strike, perfect preservation, rarity of survival, and collector demand, this 1990D Washington quarter has a coin value of $66,000. $66,000. It demonstrates that even coins produced for everyday use can become highly valuable when they survive in near-perfect condition. This quarter serves as a reminder that in coin collecting, quality and preservation can transform a standard issue into a significant collectible, earning it a place as the third highlighted coin in today's video. Now let's move on to the 2021 P Crossing the Delaware quarter, one of the more recent additions to the America the Beautiful series. This coin commemorates George Washington's famous crossing of the Delaware River during the Revolutionary War, a historic event that has inspired countless works of art, history books, and films. Now, that moment has been captured in fine detail on a circulating quarter. The reverse design of this coin is particularly striking. Washington stands at the bow of a small boat, leading his troops through icy waters. Every element of the design is carefully sculpted, from the folds of Washington's clothing to the texture of the river and the surrounding ice. Even the tiny details, such as the oars and the positioning of the soldiers, contribute to the depth and realism of the image. The Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P Mint mark, produced these coins primarily for circulation. Millions were struck and released for everyday transactions. While most of these coins will end up in wallets, cash registers, and coin jars, some are preserved under ideal conditions. These well-preserved examples are the ones that attract attention from collectors, particularly if they show any unique characteristics or errors. One of the reasons this coin is so interesting is the potential for subtle minting errors. Modern coins, while produced with advanced machinery, can occasionally have misaligned dies, doubled features, or slight variations in striking pressure. These imperfections, while minor, can make a coin distinctive, especially when combined with exceptional condition. Because this coin is a recent release, its surfaces are often highly reflective, and the details remain crisp. Collectors focus on sharpness in key areas, including Washington's figure, the folds of his coat, the texture of the water, and the small elements on the boat. Any wear, scratches, or fingerprints can impact the overall appeal, which is why careful handling is essential. For collectors, the 2021 P Crossing the Delaware quarter is a reminder that even contemporary coins can hold significance. The combination of condition, sharpness, and the presence of rare errors can make a modern coin noteworthy, even decades after it is struck. It also demonstrates the level of craftsmanship the U.S. Mint applies to commemorative designs, even when they are intended for circulation. Examining this coin requires attention to detail. Look closely at the rim, the lettering, and the finer points of the reverse design. Subtle differences between coins, such as slight die shifts or planchet imperfections, may not be immediately obvious. A coin preserved in uncirculated condition may reveal characteristics that are rarely seen in circulated examples. Storage and handling are critical. Keeping the coin in a protective holder or coin flip prevents contact with other coins and protects it from scratches, dust, and humidity. Avoid cleaning or polishing, as even well-intentioned attempts can reduce the coin's appeal and obscure the natural luster that is so valued by collectors. This coin also demonstrates that modern coin collecting is about more than age or historical rarity. Condition, preservation, and attention to detail can transform a coin into a collectible that stands out among millions of others. The 2021 P crossing the Delaware Quarter is an excellent example of how a recent issue can gain significance over time, particularly for collectors who are attentive to quality and detail. Even without a rare mintage or historic scarcity, this quarter can be special. Its appeal comes from the chance that it survived in exceptional condition or displays a unique minting variation. Coins like this show that with careful handling and storage, modern quarters can hold interest and significance, just as older, classic coins do. When examining this coin, take your time to study every detail. Observe the textures, the depth of the design, and the sharpness of the strike. Consider any anomalies that might make it unique. These are the features that make the coin noteworthy and demonstrate why collectors pay close attention to condition and minting details. This quarter is also a reminder of how modern coin design balances artistry with functionality. The mint has to ensure that every coin can withstand circulation while still presenting a visually appealing, detailed image. It's a challenging task, and coins like this show the skill involved in producing modern U.S. currency. The 2021 P crossing the Delaware Quarter also encourages collectors to develop patience and careful observation. Not every coin will display noticeable errors or exceptional preservation, but learning to identify the ones that do is part of the excitement of modern coin collecting. Even though it is a contemporary issue, this quarter teaches an important lesson in coin collecting. Condition and attention to detail can make a coin stand out, regardless of its age. Every uncirculated or carefully preserved example holds the potential to be a collectible in its own right, and the 2021 P crossing the Delaware Quarter is a perfect example of this principle. As we wrap up today's video, we hope you enjoyed exploring these incredible quarters and discovering the unique details that make each one special. It's amazing how much history and artistry can be found in something as small as a coin. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If you liked this video and want to see more content about coins, collecting tips, and rare finds, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd also love to hear from you. Share your thoughts or your favorite coin from today's video in the comments below. We always enjoy connecting with fellow collectors. We really appreciate your support and love having you as part of our community.